Ladies and gentlemen, that was your first act, Angelo Saroukas. Keep it going for Anthony Locascio.
Very good ovation, guys. You're learning good. I love it. Holy shit, I'm so happy to be here. I've been listening to you guys from behind the curtain. You all sound so laughy, so polite, so present. Now I'm here. Look at you all. You're so attractive, well-dressed, most of you. I think I'm just going to say it. I love you. I do, guys. I love you. Thank you for coming out to support live comedy. And I just want to normalize saying I love you to strangers. So once again, I love you. It's a very important phrase. My mum, she's Greek, so she says it funny. She says it kind of weird. She says I love you funny. She says it like you will never live up to your potential. Isn't that the cutest thing you ever heard in your life? She's a nice lady. My mum is Greek and my dad is an I-Thai, is an I-Italian. Are any of my people in the room? Any Greeks, Italians are in the room? Excellent. I actually knew before I asked the question because I walked in, had a little whiff. I didn't smell Lynx Africa, so I knew there were none of my people in here. So I can talk shit about them. I actually didn't like growing up being a half caste, half Italian, half Greek. None of the tribes ever treated me like one of them. You know, they always treated me like a mutt, filthy mudblood, you know? The Italians would always call me Greco. Greeks would always call me when they needed money. Very hard out there for a pimp, guys. And then being of these two ethnicities, as a teenager, I was, what's the word? Fat. I was fat as fuck, guys. I was 97 kilos when I was 16. None of that was muscle. It was almost exclusively original recipe chicken. Yeah. I basically lived at KFC as a teenager. My parents got divorced when I was 13. The colonel got full custody. Thank you for validating my choice to do that joke, guys, because a lot of my mates, they're like, bruh, nah, get rid of that joke. No one wants to hear about your parents' divorce, bro, alright? It's dark. Get rid of that joke. But I think we can all agree, zinger. Don't patronize me with your applause. Where's the 1 month couple? What's up, guys? Feet again on stage, I see. I like it. Nah, you're right, bro. Is it Hinge, Tinder? What's the situation for the 1 month? Real life? Think you're fucking better than me, huh? Because I met my girlfriend on Hinge, guys. I met my girlfriend on Hinge, and there is a breakdown to the dating apps, by the way. Hinge is the nice one, yeah? Because it goes, Hinge is for dating, Tinder is for fucking, and Bumble is for psychos. That's how you break it down. I hated being on dating apps though, so good for you guys. I assume that she just went to a cafe and you just put your feet up on her stool or whatever, something organic like that, you know, that just happened. I just remembered all the lack of manners my mum taught me growing up and it just filtered through. I hated being on dating apps so much, even though that's where I met my girlfriend, because there's no real way to convey tone. There's no way to be charming in the messaging section. I remember talking to this one woman she was 5'11". I am 5'9" on my profile. And me and her were chatting, and in the middle of the conversation, she says to me, Anthony, you saw that I'm 5'11", right? And I said, yeah. Is that going to be a problem? She said, no. As long as you don't have any issues dating somebody considerably taller than you. I said, excuse me, if you think that 2 inches is considerable, well, consider me almost considerable. You know, we're close, guys. We're close. All right, I'm having fun. This is going well. I'm going to take a risk. So I went to this predominantly white selective school, and I'm Italian and Greek, so I stood out obviously among the white kids there because I have eyebrows. Shut up. was a very, very clever retort on my part. Shut up! I was raised well. I stood out, man. I stood out, and you know the white guys. Italian and Greeks are ostensibly white people, but this is, you know what I mean when I say white, like sourdough white boys. You know, like slip slop slappers. You know, McLeod's daughters rejects. You know the type that I'm talking about. And they used to. So that when I went to school, it was in the mid 2000s. There was this popular television program by the name of Fat Pizza. You may be familiar with Fat Pizza. It was about a multicultural group of delivery boys, right? And they had one of everything, right? They had one of everything. It was very multicultural. They had a Maltese guy, they had a Turkish guy, they had a Maori guy, they had an Asian guy. But despite this ethnic diversity, all of the characters wore a red cap, full black tracksuit, and whenever something vaguely surprising happened to any of them, they were all scripted to respond in the same way. Oh my God, bro! So some very confused bullies that I went to school with, they just naturally assumed that anybody with a slightly darker skin tone than them was automatically Lebanese. I apparently have olive skin. That's what I've been told my whole life. Got olive skin. That's just the laziest categorization I've ever heard of in my life. You can't just not recognize my skin tone and equate it to a staple of my people's diet. You don't see me jumping up and down about my girlfriend's beautiful Nazi goreng skin. That would be racist. They thought I was a lebo, these kids. I'd cross the playground and then they would stick their heads out of the balcony of the library and they'd just be like, Locascio, where's your falafel, bro? Here's the issue, guys. Here's the problem. The problem with inaccurate racism is that you can't really get the shits at it without being a little bit racist yourself. Like, I couldn't turn around to these kids and be like, hey, no, you don't call me a fucking lebo. Because there's nothing wrong with being Lebanese, right? But like I said, we went to a selective school. These were smart kids. They should have known. There were no lebos at our school. We had an entrance exam, what? Fences, what are you talking about, man? All right, thanks for letting me get away with that one, guys, because obviously a bit of a risk, risky demographic to go after, first of all. Second of all, you do it sometimes in comedy clubs, you do jokes like that, and then people often get offended by it. And it's never Lebanese people, I promise you. It's always those wonderful group of people that feel the need to get offended on behalf of demographics they don't belong to. Yeah, the best people in the world. I got so many Lebo mates. I promise you guys, they love that joke. All my Lebo mates, they absolutely love it. They don't get it, but they love it. They just like to be mentioned. I'll leave you with this, guys. Because I had to be on the dating apps because I went through a big breakup a few years ago. And me and my ex-girlfriend were going out for about 6.5 years. And we broke up for a very unorthodox reason. See, she had this younger sister. Towards the end of our relationship, the younger sister started going out with this new bloke. I didn't really like the look of him at all. 2 months into their relationship, we sit down for dinner with her and her parents. And this guy starts calling the parents mum and dad. Major sociopath energy, right? So, I think we're all in agreement with what I had to do. I had no choice. On the spot, immediately, I just broke up with her. I'm sorry, what would you do in the face of that kind of a flex? It's a power move. This guy's trying to kick me down the future son-in-law hierarchy. I don't negotiate with terrorists. So, gone. I wasn't planning on ever calling her parents mum and dad. I don't even call my parents mum and dad. I call them the reason for everything bad in my life and the source of all of my negative traits. And dad. I'm Anthony Locascio. Thank you very much. See you later.